you're through to one-way fighting with me, Neill Smith. And today, we're not just doing an update for what's happening in the UFC. We've got Rob Beech on. Now, you may have heard his name before because we've had a couple of people who he's trained with in the past, Dave Faulkner and Sean Hammer, come on. They're part of the coaching staff out of his mixed martial arts gym based out in St. Helens, Hammer Gym. Who are fucking massive in England at the minute. I mean, you're just smashing pretty much every weight category there at the minute, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got an awesome team. We just keep going through everyone. We're on Bellator, big shows. My last outing was Brave in front of 20,000 people in like India. That was a big do. But all the lads are doing really well. They're doing better than me because I've been stagnated now. There's been like 2 years where we've been in lockdown and fights have been cancelled, stuff's been stopped, and you just sort of lost your motivation. But I've only just started turning the corner and getting my mojo back, really. So I'm hoping to be out in the autumn, really.
Well, I was going to say to you, I seen on your Facebook, you'd put on with your dietary and that. You're looking like you're getting the six back and that again.
Yeah, I bet you I was cropping up for. I bet you was getting on for 22 stone.
Really, yeah.
Honestly, mate, and that was me. The picture on the Facebook was probably me. The fat one of me on the Facebook was probably not that bad as I was. You wouldn't have recognised me, Neil. It was an absolute disgrace. You know, I'd let myself go and feel bad about it now, but it did affect me not being able to train and go to gyms and things like that when I've done it from such an early age. It's weird.
Yeah, mate, no, I feel your fucking pain, though. Like, I'm still on furlough. So, like, because Gran Canaria is a holiday island, everything's stopped because the flights aren't going. So while everyone else has gone back to work in the UK and that, I'm still fucking just on furlough, lad. So, for me...
So you're basically bumming a life then, yeah? Getting paid for nothing.
Lad, yeah,
on the beach every day. You're getting paid for going on the beach every day. Get it right.
Cool, can't walk that far. Nah, but seriously, lad, I know what you mean though, because that whole fucking thing on furlough, or where you're off, or I mean, you've got your own. You still doing your own business or what? Is that
that was affected. So I have a haulage company. We was massively affected because we do waste. So waste is mainly generated from schools, restaurants, bars. The commercial waste is so when all these commercial outlets get shut down, like you obviously commercial, I mean in the bars, and obviously you've got your schools as well involved. There's no waste generated, so then we were shut down as well, and it was scary times, and then that affects you as well, affects your head, and it's just you don't know whether you're going to come or go. You don't know what's happening. It's not nice.
Lad, personally, like, I mean, I'm on an island where it's £1 a pint of Amstel. Right, so I mean, I don't want to be stereotyping because, especially out here, I meet loads of people who aren't Scousers, and I get chicken chips, and you're going to rob me watch and all that shit. But St. Helens in general is known for people who like their ale, like the Johnny Vegas type, hanging around jokers and that, and then going out having a tear up. Yeah,
and I'd say that like a lot of our friends and. St. Helens was a rough town. It's just some big lads and big, hard, tough men, and we've all been brought up into rugby league from being like 6 and 7 years of age, and then I went straight through into like being 15, and I blew my knee out, and then that's how I started amateur boxing. But I would have probably made it professionally, a rugby. But it was a rough town. Now it's not so much, I'd say, as it was. It's not. It's hair days over with. But yeah, we do like a good. We're like Vikings when it comes to drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, Liverpool's no different. Like it's only down the road.
Well, the Scousers love a good drink as well. I think, don't we? We're all similar. We all get on really. We make out that we take the mick out of each other, but we do get on. We have each other's backs and everything.
Yeah, it's the Willow we don't like, lads.
Yeah, they're posh Scousers. Laddie dads, aren't they?
the lad who do the main podcast with from the fucking Widow, that's why I say that, like.
Yeah.
The rest are all right, but now the reason I was saying that though, with £1 a pint, like I did 9 months just nailing pint after pint. I'd go down with a tenner and I'd be wankered, and then like I got about 9 months in, And I just thought, I've got the kids there as well, like, you know what I mean? It's no good waking up with the hangover, and I just thought, I've got to just change this. And, like, I just started off, like, I'd gone from, like, being able to bang out 100 press-ups in a set to, like, doing 5 after, like, 9 months. And I was like, I just had to change it. Just had to change it, lad.
Because you've got a similar body type to me, I'd say, Neil, and don't take that wrong. Like, you can have a blow up, you can have a look good, or you can blow up. There's no in between us. We just look at a burger and a pint, and it's game on, bang.
So,
and then the mindset.
I didn't want to bring this up, right? Someone said to me, right, so anybody who's watching who doesn't know already, in the amateurs for Rob in MMA, we fought, and the fucker beat me, but no hard feelings for me. Like, I just get on, no ego. But some guy said to me, when you say same body type, he went, the pair of yous when I went against the cage, and I couldn't tell which one was which. And he went, I thought the cage was going to do a wheelie, because we're both like 18 stone 6.
The commentator said that.
Yeah.
But I never seen you. And then when I was walking to the cage, I've seen you one of your biggest fucking assets, I'd say, was your fucking calves. Sorry for swerving on the thing. But I thought, oh God, I could do without getting kicked off them things. Like, that was one thing that got in my head. And you know what I mean?
Hey, I was going to talk about the fight later on, but we're in it. You know what, right? Your music on every fight, you change it. Like, you've had Money for Nothing, I Want No MTV, a long intro. And this is always when you've got someone in the cage. I had Here We Go Again, and it's got that fucking 2-minute intro of do. And I'm standing there, just like shadow boxing for the camera. And then like 30 seconds later, I'm like, who the fuck is he? And you don't come out until it kicks in with the da. And that, lad, that was the biggest fucking mindfuck.
That drained you a bit.
It's like 2 minutes of waiting for you to come in the cage, but the music's on. I've just been called a fucking cunt by about 10 old women in the crowd because it's in St. Helens. Like one woman, right? Fuck him up, Rob, he's a fucking cunt. And I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, good mate, though. It's one of those things, you never change it, lad. It's just an experience you're going to do.
Yeah, it was a dangerous fight for me. Like, you know, I'm only just fresh out of boxing, so it is. If you are in effect in a street fight in a way, even at early levels, I'd say you are in a street fight, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, because you're throwing half punches out of fear, and I'm throwing punches out of fear, and one of them big hits lands, and it's game over. Them little gloves on.
Mate, you know what, right? Clark, who was cornering me, said, Neil, go to the ground. And I'm just like,
I thought, I'll take you to the ground.
Well, no, I'm all stand up, right? And I'm just like, you know what? Like, you'd had people pull out, and that's why you couldn't get anyone to fight you. I shouldn't have fought you because you had a few fights in on me. And I'd had 5 people pull out on me. And the only reason I took the fight was I went, he's not going to be fucking asked about me. You're obviously more experienced. I went, he's not going to be asked about me. He'll fight. I've had 5 people pull out. I'm going in. And then when I got there, I just thought, fuck it, just do what you're good at. If he's better than you, he's better than you. Just go in and do what you're at. And then you end up taking me down and getting full mount, lad. I was like, fuck, should have wrestled him first, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
But it's just mistakes.
I picked up wrestling by then pretty well, like, so, you know, I think a lot of people come unstuck with that, like, but then I seem to revert a bit back then a few more of my amateur fights a bit, so, but then now, obviously, I'm like more of the full article now, so it's just years of training.
Sean said to me that he had planned to take me down because everybody was saying you knocked everyone out in like 27 seconds, 2 minutes. And I'd even seen you at Budo. You made some comments saying you don't get paid overtime. And with your boxing background, you do have dynamite hands. And I think, like, unbeknownst to me, because I think I took it on about 6 weeks before.
Didn't get paid overtime.
You said that. That was your quote, that lad. I watched it before. Simon Cafferty was going. He went, you knocked him out in 27 seconds again. And like you were like, I think that was your head kick in Budo 9.
Yeah, kicked, yeah.
Yeah. And you were going, I can kill them with all limbs now. And like Simon Cafferty was just taking a half step back. Just like, yeah. Yeah, you can.
I wouldn't say I could kill. I don't. Did I say kill? Because I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
You didn't say kill. You said I'm dangerous.
I'd probably take him out. Yeah, because I just. If you notice some of my fights, when I've had them and I've like really KO'd someone or something, I've actually picked them up and stuff because I don't really want to. You don't ever want to do that. I am like focused to get rid of him straight away, but after that point, it's just a sport, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, mate, 100% agree with you on that. I was going to ask you a bit later because I don't know the context of this situation. I don't know if you know what I'm going to ask you, but I was looking at different clips and stuff, and like you've just said, Ryan Hennessy.
Yeah,
you dropped him. You walked off to celebrate. You come back. You picked him up. But what happened with Luke Morton? Was there some bad blood before that?
Yeah, he's so the situation with Luke was obviously he was like 4-0 in his own town, the champion, whatever, the version of a British champion. And he was just calling me out on the internet all the time, like, and I'm not really. I've never been one for calling him out. I just get on with me. I've just got on with whoever's been put in front of me, and you can ask Sean about that. Never ducked a fight and never said no about it. Said I've just got on with it. And what happened is a fight warming up to that on the Budo show. I was due to fight Luke in June, and I was fighting in March, I think it was, or July, Luke. And March, and I was on Budo, and some big horrible Russian guy, he got in. He cracked me with like the biggest haymaker in my life, and it sort of shocked me. And I rushed in for the takedown, but when I've took him down, I've lifted him up, and I fell on his knee. So I've doubled his punch up on my face. So in one punch there, I broke my cheekbone, broke my eye socket, broke my jaw and broke my nose in one like incident, and then he ended up with titanium plates in my face. So they said I'd never fight again. And then Luke Morton's on the internet going, "You shit out. I hope is your face broken?" All this, Paul Rob and all this, just constantly battering me on everything. And I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna fucking do you in, lad. And I thought, sorry if it's heard again.
No, lads, tell it like it is.
As soon as that bell went and it was like game on, he went to shake hands. I just cracked him on, and then I just took him down and I just battered him. And they said, "Yeah, that's not fair. That's not nice." But what he did to me wasn't fair. Leading up to that, he was calling me bird and everything online. It was just too much. So he just really, I've never had anyone get under my skin like that before, and I actually lost the plot. Like,
to the people watching, I'm going to put a clip in around about here. I'm going to cut it and put one in. But lads, you're human. Like you're just going fucking ape shit, and then at one point,
but you know why?
Over and kicked the cage at the corner.
Yeah, you know why I went mad and tried to get out the cage? Because when I was down on top of him, battering him, he's bit me on the chest as well.
Has he? Yeah.
So I should. That's it. And he come out the cage to me. And when he come out the walkway, when you see this clip now, he comes out and he's like, "I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have done that," and all that. And I thought, I'm just gonna just bingo you here now, just fuck. And I thought I'd wreck everything then that I've done. Do you know what I mean?
Lad,
but.
You get yourself banned from other promotions and shit, don't you? It's not worth it.
Yeah, because they just seen that side of it rather than what actually happened. But he did bite my chest. I had a mark on my chest, like, so. And that's why I just kept on drilling him.
Price not so long ago, didn't it, as well? What's people's problem? Did they feel the need to do that?
Well, it's just escapism, isn't it? There's snap or tap, isn't it? That's the way you can go out. You don't have to bite someone to try and save face, do you? Stupid.
I don't understand it, mate. It's bizarre, like. But yeah, I was interested to find out what had happened with that. Like,
I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because I was like, all my crowd was like going, well, I was going F off, fuck off. I just was going wild. I could have had another 10 fight. Yeah.
Lad, you started off like fucking screaming and all that. And then next minute the corner are talking and he's kicking the cage and that, and then you're like trying to get out the cage. I thought you were trying to get out the fucking way the corner in.
sorry, mate, all my fans were trying to get to the cage and it was all made up. And I was like, fuck, just get away from me. I don't want to be near. I'd lost it. I could have literally thrown Luke Morton over that cage. That's how angry I was. It was like the Incredible Hulk had gone.
But next bit is when they get you back in the cage, he stood there like devoed, and then you're like that, and they're putting the fucking thing on your shoulder and that. And like you can see like in your face. The only reason I asked about it was, I mean, I just saw something had been said, but then you can see your face, you're proper celebrating in his that. It must have like proper got to you that like.
Yeah, it really, really upset me now. And then he come up to me and he went, I see why they call you the Juggernaut now. I went, yeah.
Have you squashed it?
Yeah.
You speak to him and that now?
Yeah, he's a bit of a strange cat. He's like one of them who's a bit aloof. You wouldn't, like, I could get on you and have a pint with you if he had, you know what I mean? If I seen you, and I would do. Yeah, and if he had to, definitely would do. I've got no. He's one of like about 3. I've had about 70 fights, me in total, including my amateur boxing record. And he's probably like one of 3 that I would never speak to ever, even if I seen him.
Yeah,
Chris Wallace as well is an ex-professional. He won like a British area title and all that, and I fought him in the pro boxing, and he's a funny guy. He's just not nice. He's horrible in the ring. He's saying stuff to you. He's stamping on your feet, but then nasty after you to you, and it's all just too bad sportsmanship. I can't be arsed with all that crap. There's no need in it.
Yeah, you know what, right? You fought Bellew as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I fought Bellew, yeah, in the amateurs as well.
Renowned for getting under people's skin. Was that all right going before that, or was that just too early on, or?
What do you mean, sorry?
Like with him getting under your skin and that, because that's like his thing, isn't it? Like winding.
Well, he never got under my skin. I mean, I'll send you a video. Have you not seen the podcast he did about me?
Anything goes.
I don't know.
I don't know. I seen a podcast with him. It was with that James English, and it goes, and he goes some big hairy chested guy from
he's mentioning me. So I intimidated him that day for some reason.
Oh yeah, he was saying shit himself like.
But let's have it right, and I'll tell him to his face as well. And he's had it took off BoxRec. This 48 amateur kickboxing fights before that fight. I'd had 2 boxing fights amateur in my life. Yeah. Won one, lost one. Won one, lost one. He'd had won one. But he'd had 48 fights, and I still got into him and did all right with him. But it's realistically, it's an unfair playing field. It's not fair. I could have got hurt that night, and he doesn't acknowledge that, and he never says anything about it either. Never mentions he's been boxing or kickboxing.
We talk about that on the podcast a lot, mate. Like, I don't like the white collar scene at the minute. I know a guy, I'm not going to say his name because he'd probably fucking shoot me, never mind batter me. Like, he's an ex-pro boxer, right? But he had his opposite blood done, got told he'll never fight again. And he's done about 7 fucking white collars. None of them have gone past a minute. One of them was fucking swallowing his tongue because he was just some fat kid who thought he was doing something to help raise money for cancer. Went in and just got destroyed. And I don't think the white collar boxing sometimes is regulated properly. Like the people who organise it just saying it's a charity and they let anyone go in.
They're not. There's a lot of them that are, I'm not saying it's all like this, but there is a lot that are doing it to create money, and they're going under the disguise of charity, and it's wrong. No.
Yeah. I mean, there's massive amounts of them in Liverpool and that, like, and it's all good if you want to go test yourself. But Sean refereed for this one. Right, so some kid by ours came in. He's about 5 foot, lovely kid, like loads of respect for him and that for getting in and doing it. But Carl Evans' cousin, you know Carl Evans?
Yeah.
His cousin's like my fucking height, your height, about 6'3". And this fat kid comes in at 5'10", but he's 5'10" wide as well. And he goes, we were training at Derry Matthews and that. And he goes, I've got 4 days to the fight. Can you help me out and corner me? Because they laughed at me when I tried to shake his hand. And I went, why are you fighting him? I'd never seen him before. But then when we got there on the night, I said to him, I went, look, mate, I don't know if you're ready. You've got your family here and that. You're going to get knocked out or something. And he was like, I'm going to mention his name. I don't want to embarrass him.
No.
And then he was like, no. And I went, look, if you don't want to do it, I'll go in and fight him. And he went, no, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to get in there and do it. Went in. Sean was reffing. And then, like, within 2 seconds, he walked forward, turned his back, and fucking Evo's brothers just fucking wailing on him, haymaking him and that. But that's not nice, that, like, because he's gone in there thinking he's doing a good thing. He's saying to me out back, no, it's for charity and that. I'm going to do it. He's got the best intentions. He's fucking 5'10" against someone 6'3", and it's just like, don't get me wrong, he could have been like
bullying.
Yeah. And when I said to Evo after, Evo went, yeah, no, I set that match up myself. I'm like, what the fuck, lad?
A nice one.
Well done, you, lad. Fucking, you've just got to ruin someone's fucking life. His fucking dad's over there, watching.
You can get post-traumatic stress from being. I mean, I know a few lads who've never boxed again who went through the amateurs with, who've made an absolute show with themselves, and the amateur cage fighting, so MMA, and they've never been right since, or they've never had a fight again, and it's like it's not right because they've not been matched up correctly. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's one of them though. I mean, not in the same way, but I feel like I was more inexperienced than yourself, but I forced that fight through. I said to Clark, I went, I don't care, he'll turn up. He'll turn up. I've had 5 training camps where they've all cancelled the week before, and I've trained 4 or 5 weeks prior to the fucking fight.
But was you more inexperienced in combat sport or cage fighting? Because there is a difference. You've got to, there is a difference.
Prior to you, I'd boxed from about 14, done kickboxing since about 18. I'm about 26 at the time, maybe. And I'd had about 8 inter-gym fights that all happened on the same weekend. That was my prior experience. Other than that, I twatted a few people in the street. Like, that was it. Like, that was my experience. But I've never backed away or shied away from anything. So, really, I feel like my corner should have said, Neill, you're just too eager, just. Because, like, you were fucking weighing people in, lad. You were fucking flattening them. Like, the 3 fights before me, all I had to go on was everybody gets folded like the laundry when he just walks forward. You literally, Leighton Wignall, Greg Hart, who was the other one you fucking back? I mean, I'm not calling them out and saying they're bad in any way.
Ryan, yeah, but Leighton Wignall again.
They were the 3 fights I had to go off.
He gave me pure abuse. There's another one who's a horrible person. Well, he might have changed his tune now. He's had his attitude adjusted off me, but sorry to be Leighton Wignall was horrible. I've never known it like it. He's going, there's no way I'm getting beat off a fucking woolly back. You're getting fucking done in and all this. And I just thought, what the fuck's going on here? We're at the weigh-ins. I'm not one of them who'll hold me tongue, mate. I'll just get into them there and then. And that's as unsportsmanly as it sounds. That's the way I am. I'm not one of them who'll go nose to nose and keep taking it. I'll just go. That's it. Yeah. That's what I've always been like.
Yeah, no.
So, but he was horrible. So he got panned as well, bad, and I made sure I did him in good. But obviously, I hope he's well now and that. But the stuff and Sean will verify it. The stuff that was coming out of his mouth regarding what he was going to do to me was just ridiculous. There's no need in it, a fight build-up.
Lad, it's one of them. I said nothing in any of my fights. I just kept my fucking mouth shut. Because
do it with your hands,
It's not just that, lad. After I'd fought you, I mean, like, you were my first amateur. And then after I fought you, I had this fat fucking busy who I'd met in the pub. And he went, I watched your fight, you looked good, but you know what I would have done? And I was like, oh, here's another one, you went, I would have won. And I looked at him, he's about that big. And I just thought, that's why I don't say nothing before or after fights, because if I big myself up like that and something doesn't go my way, I'm going to have fat cunts like this little prick here coming up and talking to me, telling me shit all the time. I went, fuck off, lad. You know what I did to him that night? I went, sound, would you have beaten, would you? He went, yeah. So I texted Lee, who did the promotion, and I was going, I've got him in a creepy yard, yeah. I went, me and you will fight on the next fucking show. I went, I'm looking for an opponent. He's going, lad, I haven't been training or nothing. I mean, you've never fucking trained other than go in the shop and get beers, you fat fucking cunt. Fuck off. Fucking don't meet me at fucking 1 a.m. in the pub and tell me what I should have fucking done. So,
what boozer was that one? Where was that in? Where was you?
That was in Crosby, lad. That was in Crosby.
Posh fucker.
Yeah. Fucking
yeah.
Not wrong with that, lads. Not wrong with a bit of doubt.
Yeah.
We just still had him.
Oh, yeah.
No. But, that's why I never said nothing. Never said nothing. Yeah. I think...
Do it with your performance. Don't be saying it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, walk the walk, lad.
That's what I was doing.
Moving on a bit for you, lad, because I'll end up chatting shit all day. I've heard there's a possibility of Bellator at some point.
Well, I'd signed up for Bellator. That's what I was doing before this had happened. So that was, again, now, bearing in mind, I'm coming to the back end of the career, which is, I can't do it forever, and I don't want to do it. 39 now, I don't, but I wanted to be wrapped up by 38. I wanted to be wrapped up. I said, I still feel fresh. I'm not like some big fat fuck with a comb over or something like that. You know what I mean? No,
thanks,
he's not with a comb over. Fucking hell. An old guy in Turkey. Anyway, but it's just like, I don't know. I've got to... In my head, I've not finished it because I've not rolled the dice like I wanted to. I've had 2 years took off me, so it's like that sent me into, not to say depression, but my mood, and I was drinking more in the house. I was eating crap. I was like putting weight on, not going to the gyms, not even going for a run or anything. So my old spectrum's turned now, and it's looking like I'll probably end up doing one again.
Yeah, I mean, how old's your Logan now?
He's 4 next week.
Yeah, so he's same age as Mike Hagan. So I find myself good diet, and then when I'm with the kids, I'll eat the sweets with them. That doesn't help, especially if you're on furlough, lads. You're in the house all day, eating what they eat. Or do you think it's going to come about then?
Go on, sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say, do you think it's going to come about Bellator? Then you're going to push for it.
No, I don't think I'm going to probably, I don't know, the heavyweight division's pretty scarce, so there has been wording of it, like, so it might come about, and if it does, I want to fight on it, because that'll be like one of the pinnacles of my career. Brave was good, but they don't have an heavyweight division for some reason. They don't want one. But I took that fight very short notice for them. I thought I'd have got like a deal out of it, and never, but got paid. They paid well, and then obviously Bellator come along, and then that happened. So I'm hoping that I'll get back with them.
Yeah, mate. I think if you got in there, I mean, the way you're talking and that, I think you got at least 3 or 4 or 5 years. I mean, the 5th year might be going downhill, like that's pushing you on to about 44, 45, innit? But if you play it right and you get a good run, mate, you can do something.
The thing is, I've never really, apart from that titanium mask that I've got in this side, and obviously it's been passed off by a doctor now, because I actually had a professional boxing fight after it happened, and I had to go and see a top face surgeon to get passed off by the British board, so I know I'm okay. I wouldn't like a knee in it, however, but he said you'll be okay to box. So apart from that, I've not had major injuries. I'm not run down, and I've got a good strength and conditioner. He's had me since I've been 31, and he's always just kept me in good, like, sort of strength, and never got me injured, and I've always been okay like that. So yeah, you're probably right. I'm still pretty fresh, even though, like, I probably on paper it doesn't look as though I am.
Well, you did that boxing fight after 7-year layoff, didn't you? And then come back and MMA again, didn't you?
Yeah, because that was way too hard. What happened was I had me, Billy Big Spud Stead, I've been doing MMA 7 years or something, or maybe less. It might be 6 because I had a layoff from boxing, and then I'd had 5. I'm 5-0 as a boxer at this point, and then my best man at my wedding, he is a boxing promoter called Neill Marsh, K1 Promotions, and he has David Avician at the moment. I don't know if you know him. He's a welterweight. He's just beat Josh Kelly, smashed him up.
Yeah.
He's got Zach Parker. He did have Martin Murray, so he's a really top promoter. And he had a show on at the Echo. He said, "Listen, why don't you get your kit on and I'll have a last do. You can have a fight and I'll get you a fight." He said, "But I'm not going to get an easy one." I said, "I don't want a fucking easy one." But we have that banter because he's like an older brother to me.
Yeah,
so he thinks he'll test me, and then I try and prove him wrong, and I say, "Fucking get me." So he got me this Hungarian called Zalek, he was like a world-class journeyman. He'd had 80 fights, won like 35, and then lost like 45 or something like that. That stacks up, right? He's around that anyway. So he's had a lot of fights, this kid, but he's been in with world-class operators, and he was a little tank, like odd job, and he broke my ribs and everything, lad. He just smashed me up. I won by 1 point, but there was at one point I was just sat against the ropes and I was just thinking, what the fuck am I doing in here again? And then I just heard me bird and then a few of my mates, and just dug in and just got through it, and I won by 1 point anyway. So it was an hard night's work, but no more boxing.
The problem is, right, I feel like in MMA, if you get it, you've got the smaller gloves and that. I know they say it's more concussive with the boxing gloves and stuff. I mean, I've never competed boxing, but I boxed from like 14, so I've had my head kicked in sparring enough. I just feel like when boxers hit you, there's that much more concussive power, lads. When they on a good ratio,
because I've been used to it though now, and I've done it for a long time. I mean, I did 2 training camps with David Price for I think he fought John McDermott and Tom Dallas, and I did 2 training camps with him, and he was just taking miles off my clock, because when he hits you, I don't care. He might be chinny and whatever, and he might not have done as good as he should have done. But when he hit you, he was like a world-class like knockout punch. It was just like a stun gun, because he hits you down because of his height.
So big, isn't he?
He's 6 foot like 10, 9 or something.
10, is it?
He's massive, mate. He's like a big gangly monster.
What are you, 6'2", 6'3"? You're about the same as me.
Well, yeah, 6'3". Yeah, 6'3".
Yeah. Because you know why I asked that? Everything I looked up on Sherdog and all that before we fought, 6'2". I thought I've got an
do you know what?
I've got an inch on it. And then you walked in and you were about fucking half inch taller. I was like, fuck.
No, well, I'll tell you what that is. That is because of my boxing. Because when I was boxing, it's mad this, and you might believe it or not, but when you're just boxing alone, you're constantly coming round with your punches. You're throwing hooks. And what it did to my posture, because when my stomach conditioner, he noticed, it rounded my shoulders off, and you get it from driving as well. So he used to train me, he used to have me doing a lot of dumbbell rolls and sitting my shoulders back. And believe it or not, I've actually grown a few inch. I've actually got a few more inch now on me than I actually did when I'm boxing. Yeah, mad. But it's down to posture, because if you think you're hunched, you're gonna come down. But if you sit up straight, you've grown a little bit.
Yeah.
Bit of trivia there for you.
You know what? It wasn't so much I disagreed on it. I was just thinking about mine as well, because I did a lot of weights and stuff like that. So I had like this wide shoulder, and then when I started boxing, I tend to turn right in. I did a degree in sports science, so I'm all like about breaking things down into subroutines. So I'm always my body shape and my posture. I think if I seen a chiropractor now, he'd have a field day, because I try and change stuff so much. This week I'm doing it. I just think, like, I was just interested in what you were saying there, like.
Yeah. He definitely has changed my posture and made me taller, which is it's freakish. But I am like I'm near enough 6'4" anyway. Because Sean measured me in the gym not so long ago. Because his lad Connor, I don't know if you've seen him. He's really good at jiu-jitsu. He's 6'4", and I was just under him.
Yeah, I'm a fraction over 6'3", and I remember saying he's 6'2". I've got like not much but an inch, and then I remember you coming in and I stood there and touching gloves and that, and looking at you going, he's fucking not 6'2", he's fucking only an inch. But I tell you what, when you're in them fucking moments and everything's fucking clicking, it's just like, you look taller than that, lad.
Yeah. Just weighing in time then, isn't it?
But that's it, mate. That's it. I mean, going forward, lads, you're talking about Bellator and stuff like that. Are there any like names out there, if you did get Bellator, that you're thinking about, or if not Bellator, and the opportunity came up in something like One or something like that, or another promotion that's like quite big? Is there anyone that
do you know I'd like to fight? And I just think he's just a big gimmick, and he pisses me off. He's called like Barnett or something like that, and he's like this.
Josh Barnett.
No, he's like this. No, he's a formidable force. Even probably.
I was going to say that's a big ass.
No, thank you. He's like a big fat lad, and he does all stupid. He fights on One, and he does all stupid like that breakdancing moves and everything. You might have seen him.
I've seen him. I didn't know his name. There's all like fucking going through Facebook with him on. You fight him.
He's got like dreadlocks and all that. Yeah, he's just beating a load of divvies up because they love him in Japan, and I just think I don't know. I'd do him in.
But they're famous out there for setting fights up so they get their desired results, don't they?
Yeah, he's good for the crowd. He does all like breakdancing before and everything. But he's no idiot. I think he was a taekwondo, maybe even Olympian. But so he's not an idiot, like. But he's not. There's no way he's going to move like anywhere near as quick as me.
No, actually, that's surprising. That how quick you are, like.
Yeah.
I was. It was one of them. Like, we didn't have much time standing up, but in the first round, as I came towards you, he sort of pivoted round and then left me sort of against the cage wall. And I usually think I've got good footwork, but obviously not. Just like you know, and I've watched some of your other fights. Like, I think one of the things that gives people not a bad opinion, but the wrong opinion of stuff like your speed and your footwork, especially some of your earlier fights, you go forward and bombard and apply the pressure. And if people fold to that, then you don't notice the technical aspect as such. But I've watched some of your boxing and stuff like that, and I think you appreciate what you're capable of more looking at your boxing career than some of the earlier fights that you had in MMA, just because you're overwhelming people with the punches. And people in MMA are used to like maybe receiving a kick or having some distance. You track them down and push. Like Khabib does it, but he does it with Sambo. But
I think it's years of watching my all-time hero. It's a proven fight. I've done it. It's weird. I've done it naturally so it sounds a bit shitty this, but I've done it naturally in street fights and that. I've always like exploded, boom, and then it gives me more time, and they're on the back foot then to try and deal with this explosion. They can either try and take me down, but I'm watching for that, or they can try and come back at a shot. But then I'm already on top of them. Then I can take them down and stuff. So Fedor Emelianenko's another one like that. I'm not on his level, but that's his style as well.
You're giving them his little time to think. I mean, they always say head, hands, feet in boxing, always be moving one or two together, keep them thinking. I think it's more effective if you're pushing the pressure on them and keeping them thinking, because there's like that extra sort of adrenaline dump for whoever you're fighting. Shit, it's gone from me trying to feel them out to shit's got real straight away. Yeah.
And I can, obviously, from my rugby background and that, and everything like that, and I always was quick off the mark with playing rugby and fast runner. And I really cover ground quickly, so I can be like, from one part of the cage to the next, I'm on you. You know, and that's all right. You can say, well, I'll just throw a big haymaker at him, but I can see that coming as well because I've got experience from my boxing background. So yeah, it might land, it might not do, but there's a good chance it won't.
You can tell you've got the boxing background as well, because you look at, like, when you see heavyweights and stuff like that coming in and they have that tendency to track down, they tend to throw these big winding windmills, and you tend to just come with the straights. And, like, it's not so much that you're setting up with the jab, it's more that you've got the power in the jab, bang, and you're stepping forward as you're doing it. That's effectively like another person straight right. And you just trust your hands. So, like what you said before, don't get paid overtime, I've got dynamite in my hands. It's like you trust your own hands.
Yeah.
And that's you know, that's a fucking scary thing for someone to get in the cage with you. Like, I'm just glad I caught you early on in the career. Because once you get a few behind you, that's a fucking scary thing for people to go in with.
Them little pro gloves, man. I couldn't wait to get them on me. Like,
what was it? 6 ounces, 4 ounces? I think I've still got the gloves there from that fight.
The gloves that we used though were near enough pro ones. Or if you've seen them,
well,
I remember them now.
I've got them here.
Tap outs.
Yeah, well, I kept them because I broke my hand, didn't I? So I just went, I can't take it off. I went,
you broke your hand in that fight?
Yeah, I seen you about 6 months after, and you go, fuck off. See that knuckle?
Yeah.
I broke that in the first round. But I didn't
out of my head.
Well, I hope it was your fucking head. If it was your fucking belly, I really fucking
I remember I remember you having an hard punch, like. Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't get too many off. What happened was, we had that exchange as we went to the cage wall. We went down, and then when I managed to bridge and get on top of you, I put my hand on the floor, and my hand sort of slipped, like I could just felt it move. All the adrenaline, I hadn't noticed it broke. I felt no pain whatsoever. I got in the corner after the first round. I went to Clark. I went, I think it broke my hand. Clark was going like that. He went, yeah, you probably have. It was like weird. That's like a bone. It went up.
Yeah, it's a metatarsal.
Yeah, it went down. So it was basically like your finger going one way there and one way there. I had a cast on for about 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's not.
When I went to corner, that Brad fella, who I don't know if this is true, apparently he's got done for raping.
Oh, the little nons.
Yeah, yeah. I keep saying I don't know if it's true. I'm pretty sure it's true. I just keep calling him.
No, he is. He's been done for all sorts. He's a fucking wronging, like,
yeah. But he come into the corner, and he heard me say to Clark, and he went, is your hand broke? And I just looked at Clark and I went, it doesn't hurt, no. It just doesn't hurt. Yeah. And I've waited so long to do it. I'd rather just fucking see it out. But yeah, fucking on your forehead, that'd be glad.
Fucking hell, lad. My head. Granite.
Now, to be fair, though, like, you see, like, fucking weird stuff. What was that, Paul Craig? He had the fight the other week. Did you see that? Where he took his fucking elbow, his arm, and just snapped it completely. You had him in there.
No.
Oh, is it Paul Craig? Is it the Scottish fellow who's fighting in the UFC? He had that Jalala Hill or whatever.
I seen that fight, but I never watched it all, and I seen him on it. I noticed he was Scottish. You got like red. You got blondish hair.
No, mate. What I'll do is I'll send you the link after.
Yeah.
Right. It's like about fucking 4 minutes, but he gets him in like a triangle and an arm bar.
Is that too dark here now? Because it's going dark over here. Is it all right?
Yeah, it's all right, mate. I can see you.
Yeah.
You sound.
Yeah.
You sound. We'll wrap up in a minute, mate, because I'm going to take all your night. But I'll send you that link, lad. He just pops his arm straight out, and his arm's completely dislocated. The guy's just like that, you know, doing the win it is, and the other guy's just like that, just flopping his arm around. So you can't complain about a fucking little knuckle, can you? Fucking people go through some shit. John Jones had his toe ripped off, lad.
Some of them ones are bad. Did you see that other lad the other day? He's got like a mullet and he's Australian. He's on the same show as it is. He did his the wrestler did he snapped his leg in half. You know what I mean?
That's a scary though.
That's just stop the crowd. Dad, I've never seen that before. It was disgusting. Horrible.
It's horrible, lad. I always remember that one with the cauliflower ear, and she punched the ear and it popped off.
Oh.
You're seeing that?
No.
It's fucking sick. It's but you kind of like drawn to it. You love it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. It's getting extreme like now, isn't it? Because everyone's good.
Mate,
everyone's.
You know what? What was that like 10, 12 years ago? That
yeah.
I mean, like there was still like people going into it who just weren't 100%.
Never just had a fight and a boozer.
Exactly. But now, lads, I'm scared to say hello to someone on. Well, I'm not scared. I'm pretty much of a dickhead if someone looks at me funny. But like, if you see someone on the street, you've always got it in the back of your mind. They could just be like a fucking 12-year-old who's got fucking 12 years experience on the fucking mats with some Gracie jiu-jitsu instructor, and they're going to choke me out. It's nuts.
That's it. Did you not get anywhere to train over there? What's the scene over there like?
Lad, they've got a Verdun gym. For Beech.
A Verdun?
Yeah, he comes over every year. And in Las Palmas, the capital, lads, he does like a big exhibition every year and that. They've got a few other places, but there's some lads in one of the weights gyms, Robbie, just personals with him for boxing and stuff for now. Like, he doesn't really want to, he's not confident holding the pads for kicks or nothing, or doing any MMA, but I've just been hitting the pads, touching stuff up. I think if this furlough carries on any longer, I might come back to England and have a go before I'm 40, but I'm 38 in September. Yeah. I'm kind of running out of time, like what you were saying before, if I want to do it again.
It's not the fight, you know, I'd fight forever, like, but it's the training camps that you just get out of the being bothered to dedicate to. That's what's so hard about it. But you know, if I roll the dice, that's it. It's got to be dedication. If I won't get in there, if I'm half cooked, so just will not do it, because I'm not going to do it to myself and disgrace myself in a way. You know, I've got to be 100%.
You've built up a record to a degree, and then you go in there knowing that you could potentially detract from that. And I mean, that's took you fucking what the best part of your life to build. And
then they go, oh, look at him, he's an old fart or whatever. You know, all that crap, or he's a disgrace, he's lost it or whatever. No, I want to go in there and make a good show of myself. I don't care if I lose, you know, as long as, well, I do care, but I mean, I've never really cared if I've lost, as long as I've fought well and it was a fair fight and I've just got beat by the better man. That was always my ideas anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that 100%. Like, anytime I've took the loss, like, I've just been like, you know what? You knew what you were doing when you were getting in. You trained hard for it. You did the best you could. Sometimes shit doesn't go your way. You can cry about it, or you can move on and make it better. And that's the only way you should look at it. You just got to identify what you did wrong and make it better. If you can't make it better, don't get back in.
That's it, mate. That's the one.
That's the main thing. I think on that point, Rob, I'll have to call it a day, because I think we're on about an hour, mate.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Thanks for coming on, mate. I appreciate it. Good luck in the future with the fights and that. And it was a pleasure to share a cage with you. Never mind the podcast, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. If I don't fight, I don't fight. If I do, I do. That's how I would take it. Like, I've got loads of other stuff to be doing with my life, and so that's how it is.
Well, unfortunately, by doing this podcast, if you make it big in Bellator and get the belt, lad, you've got to do another one. When you
I will do. 100%, mate. I will do. All right, mate.
Yeah, no worries, Rob.
Nice
one, mate.
Ta-ra, mate. Ta-ra, mate.